Hello guys, today we're going to see about hashing and how hashing works. So what is hashing? Hashing actually is insertion algorithm where we insert the elements into the array and it sorts itself by using the hashing function. This hashing function actually works by giving it a certain type of method by inserting it. Like we tell it how it has to be inserted and we tell it how do we want to put the variables in which order we want it. And there are different types of hashing. Hashing with resolution techniques, hashing without resolution techniques. Hashing with resolution techniques has many kinds in it. The many kinds of them are one is open hashing, closed hashing. In them also there are subdivided into parts like using linked lists, using arrays within the hashing. So here we're going to look at a simple one, open hashing. So what happens here is um, here we start from the main. So once we start from the main, here we have enter the size of the hash table. So once we enter the size of the hash table, then we get the size of the hash table, and after that we give an array of a of size h, then int and character. We declare all the variables and then we assign each of the uh, value in the array as null, and now we ask the user if he wants to insert, display, or he wants to search. So in the switch we go to case 1 where the value has to be inserted. We get the value and we go to the function called insert. So now we go to insert. Here is insert. So int data is the parameter used. Int position equal to data size, the modulus size h. Here what size h is actually is the uh, size is the hash table size. So this table size is actually very important depending upon where the element has to be placed. So after we get that, we tell a of position is if a of position is equal to null. If a of position is equal to null, then a of position is equal to data. If it is not equal to null, else for I is equal to position plus 1 modulus size h. So what is happening here is once the position plus 1 we tell that array, the next position in the array modulus size that is equal to I, and I not equal to position I equal to I plus 1 modulus size h till there, incremented by that. If a of I is equal to null, a of I is equal to data. If the data is inserted, then we break out of it. And if I is equal to position, hash table is full. As simple as that. And now if we have to display it, we use c is equal to 0. If c is equal to 0, no element is present in the hash table. As we can see here, c plus plus, each and every time we insert the value we increment c. So I is equal to 0, I is lesser than equal to size h, I plus plus, a of I. So in places where there are no elements inserted, the value would be 0 because we initialize them to null. Actually 0 is actually a value compared to null. Null is actually void. So now we are searching for a particular element. While searching, we give the parameter data into data. So int y position is equal to data modulus size h. We are checking for that position. We are checking for an element in its actual position. Uh, if a of position is equal to data, we return position. If it is not, then we check for this condition. For y is equal to position plus 1 modulus size h comma a of y not equal to minus 1. So what this is actually, so a of y, what is a of y? A of y, as we've told here, position plus 1 modulus size h. So this position's next place modulus size h, we get the next place in the array. So if that is equal to minus 1, because we initially declared all the elements of the array to be minus 1, and y modulus y not equal to position, so this should not also happen, and y is equal to I plus 1 modulus size h is for the next element in the for loop. So once it finds the data, it returns y. If a of y is not equal to position, then it returns null, saying that there is nothing. So this is how hashing actually works. This is all the code there is. So if this is re- like return state, like asking the user if he wants to enter it again. So now we check the program, now we compile it, we run it. Now I entered the size table, now I enter it as 5, so I can store a maximum of 5 elements. Now for insertion I pressed 1, now the data inserted is to be 2. Yes, I want to enter another one, so now I entered the data 1. Now I enter another data, suppose I enter 12, it will be stored beside 2, because 12 mod 5 is actually 2, so 2 place is actually occupied, so the next place being null, the next place being empty, that is the third place being empty, will actually be occupied by 12. So you want to continue? Yes. Now I want to see what is happening. So the first one, as we see, is 0, the second is 1, the third is 2, the fourth is 12, because a of 3 now is 12. Now if I enter another element with mod 2, that is if I enter 22, oops, now if I enter 22, and if we see where it is being placed, it will be placed after 12. Now I want to search an element. Oops, uh, sorry for that. Now if I want to search an element, enter the value to be searched. Now if I search for 12, 12 is present at 3. So that is hashing, and this concludes our session. So thank you.